Okay, this is going to be a series of tests to knocks to replicate R&R homestead. Pretty sure it's the same manufacturer siding. I know it's the same age, same color. I tried to find a similar spot because when I go there, they're inside, I'll bang the wall and they'll tell me, yeah, that's the spot. I mean, because these creatures will hit more than one spot. But there's a spot that they like best, and what it is there used to be a window there. And on the other side, they put a closet in. So they've covered that window, but it still has a little different bounce sound to it. And one note I don't want to forget, this last fall, because they do this when we're getting ready for bed, I told myself, when they slam over by that bedroom, the west wall, I'm going to run over there. I know where they're hitting. I'm going to hit that wall back. And I did bang, bang. And I hear on the other side a grumble. Something surprise, something like, what the hell is that? And what's interesting is, their landscape, there's these two impressions that, not footprints, just large impressions where something stands all the time. And what they can do is they can hear the house. They go around the corner a little bit more, is the back porch. And they go over here, they can peek in that window that's taller. So I'm going to do a barehanded hit, see what it sounds like. And they usually have this certain cadence. Okay, that's barehanded. Carefully, dead blow. Don't want to break my siding. Now, that sounds like a hammer. So, do a step further, like a welding gloves. I could use a cameraman. I put a rock in it, just to get a little bit more weight behind it. Hear that echo? Not necessarily the one inside, but it'll move things in the house. You can tell as you go along how it'll sound different. Now, what blows my mind there, I'm the handprint guy, right? I am always looking for handprints. I have not found any there. I mean, this stuff is so oxidized and ready to receive a handprint. The oil, let's see if I get some from my sweaty hair. And it'll stay there. And those will be exhibited around her shutters, around her window, around the guest bedroom, as they're standing there looking in. I don't know if it needs time, but there's no damage to the siding, to the flashing, to anything. It defies logic. However, when we have a camera covering a corner going that way, the camera covering a corner going that way, and we leave them a tree line approach, kind of like this, except it's closer, they seem to know where that field of view is of the camera, and that's when they come up and do the hand slaps. And we just can't make it as loud. And inside here, I have my iPad running, picking up the differences. I think if somebody was using a hammer, a rock, you're gonna break the siding. This siding breaks like nothing. It becomes brittle with UV. It's 1993. You can wash it off, and in fact, an interesting feature, north side of my house, and like his being the west side, it doesn't get the light. So I obviously need to spray some kills on this. And it's even more receptive because of the oxidation. It just defies. But now, I don't have a window that's been covered over, sided over. But when they hit, I can hear the siding, the Tyvek under it, and then the sound being transmitted through the plywood. I was there one time. It hit so hard. Well, let me finish this experiment. Welding glove with a rock, flat rock in it. Bigfoot hand. You know, could be done. Maybe they're backhanding it. But the sebum that I get from their hands on these windows, the hair, as it drags across, it leaves sebum. But it's usually down by the wrist, I believe. Back of their hand, I don't know. So we got those inside that we can play with. So what's interesting, like I say, we would have, now this is my home. We would have a camera set up here, looking this way. We would have a camera down at that corner looking that way, essentially leaving this open. And it's quite similar to this, a little bit closer, with 2 rows of pine trees. And that's what gives them their screen to come from the woods. Actually, it's why it's one of the crossing points. It's a shadow, and if we leave that one spot open, we'll get the hand slaps. If it was a ghost, like Bill said, and we put the cameras on this, I forget how many days, it was quite a while, there was no slaps. It's not the homeowners, they're not motivated. Lupus, her poor hands, his mangled in an accident. They just, and they're used to the sound, but they're not. You never get used to that sound. And I'll tell you, I've had a few times when they've done it, when I'm sitting out in the 3-season room on the front porch, like a fishbowl. They can see in the dust pretty good. They hit so hard, and there's just such energy with it that it made the hair of my legs stand up. Like, it was so primal. And again, there was one time I heard the transmission of energy of the force go across the house, that the header of the doorway I was near, I heard the creak. So in other words, slow motion, the energy went creak around the house, as though the house turned trapezoid. And, that transfer of energy, along that header. I don't know how. I've been studying this so long. And you know what the real mind blower video is where I am documenting handprints on the camper, and there's 2 house slaps. I acknowledge it. I caught it on the camper. We play it back. Instead of thump, thump, it says, "Hey, Todd." And it came from the spot, just because the way the pine trees, the echo, the sound, the acoustic anomaly there, that's where that sound had to come from. And earlier, either that day or that weekend, Dave Wargo, I was out in the woods, was yelling for me to come in and get dinner, and he was yelling, "Hey, Todd." Well, this sounded just like Dave or me yelling, "Hey, Todd." But when you play when we all 3 of us heard it, it was a house slap. When we play it back, it's "Hey, Todd." I don't know. I'm going to do the porch next.